Welcome to It's Natural. It's Patty Murray here. Thank you for joining me, and today we're going to be discussing how I make seasoning. It's very simple. You can make it within 5 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the process of how I do this. So what you will need is a few items. You'll need to have a mixing bowl and an empty container. This is just one of my seasoning bottles that I saved. It's just a plastic seasoning bottle. If you use tablespoons or teaspoons, you'll need a tablespoon and a teaspoon. And I use this for my little items. It's a 2-ounce little measuring cup. I love it. I got it at Walmart. The first ingredient is pink Himalayan salt that is non-GMO. I love that. Onion powder, ground paprika, garlic powder, black pepper. All of these ingredients I purchased at Dollar Tree. I'm just going to unscrew my empty container and set that aside. Now here is the bag of Himalayan pink salt, and it's very fine. And as you can see, we're working with a 5-ounce container, so that is what we're going to be working with, 5 ounces. So the most ingredient that you'll be using is the pink Himalayan salt and the ground paprika. Those are the two most that you'll be using in this recipe. So make sure that you get the pink Himalayan salt because of the properties. I think there's 86 minerals. All right, so I'm gonna try to, it's just like a Ziploc baggie, so I'm trying to pour this in, and it just doesn't seem like it's working. Let me open it up a little bit more, and I'm looking at my ounces to make sure, and I put my finger on the little mark so I know how much I need to put into my measuring cup, and I'm still spilling it everywhere. What I'm gonna do is, let's try this tablespoon. It's too big here. Let me get this teaspoon. Now, if you want to use tablespoons, or if you don't have a little measuring cup that does ounces, you will need 1.5 ounces of the Himalayan salt, pink salt. That's equivalent to 3 tablespoons. So I'm just eyeballing it, make sure I have 1.5 ounces, and I pour it in my mixing bowl. I'm going to set that aside, and again, ground paprika is going to be the second most used, most in quantity. And so I'm going to go ahead and put in 1.5 ounce. I'm going to use a teaspoon because that's the smallest thing that I can fit in the container, and just start putting ground paprika into my measuring cup, actually, not my mixing bowl. All right, so I'm just eyeballing it, making sure I have 1.5 ounces, and I just pour that in to the mixing bowl. And screw back the lid on here. Okay, so we're on to the onion powder. The onion powder, you just need 1 ounce or 2 tablespoons. So I'm just have my finger on the mark of an ounce, and I pour it in there. If you like an onion flavor, you can put more, but remember how much you're working with. We're working with 5-ounce container. So you'll have to just change your measurements just a hair. And now we're doing garlic powder, and we're doing 1/2 ounce or 1 tablespoon. I'm looking on my measuring cup, so I have my finger on the mark of a half an ounce, and now I'm going to pour it into the measuring cup. I really enjoyed that little measuring cup, I should say. I don't know why I keep on saying mixing cup. All right, so last but not least is the black powder. If you like black powder, you can put more, but I'm only putting half an ounce or a tablespoon. Now, like I said, if you want to use a little bit more of something, you're going to have to change how much you put in. But always know that your starting point is going to be in how much is in the container. So if it's a 5 ounce or a 6 ounce or 7 ounce, you will always put the Himalayan salt and the ground paprika, the most of. Those are the two that are going to be equal. And I'm just stirring it all up, making sure I get it all stirred up, and that's why I'm using the teaspoon. You don't need to necessarily use a teaspoon. You can go ahead and use something else, but because it's a scooper, I decided to do that. And now I'm just scooping it all into my container, and it's getting a little bit messy. And that's why I have it over inside the mixing bowl. Let me have you have a look of it, and it looks beautiful. And the aroma smells very nice. This can be a rub for anything. You can put it on a rub, you can put it in your salad, you can put it for seasoning for anything. I put it in my mashed potatoes. Still making a little bit of a mess here. I think I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit easier on myself, and I will be right back. All right, so I decided to just go ahead and use a funnel. Now, if you don't have a funnel and you have like a piece of paper or something, you can put that in there, folded it up, and it'll go all the way into the bowl. So you don't necessarily need to have a funnel. So it perfectly, that was 5 ounces. I probably could have gotten a little bit more in there, but then I wouldn't be able to shake it up and down if I had more. All right, so I shook it up in there, and again, the ingredients is Himalayan pink salt, ground paprika, so those are the 2 top ingredients that you're going to use the most of. The next would be the onion powder. And the garlic powder. And last but not least is pepper. Okay. And it's all mixed in there. And you just give it a shake a little bit. And again, it's 5 ounces. And again, make sure you look on your container, and that'll determine what your measurements are going to be. And here are all the ingredients. And again, I bought these all at Dollar Tree for $1 a piece. I hope you enjoy this video, and thank you for watching it with me and being a part of It's Natural. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and I will catch you in the next video.